guys, it's Andy from D6 Evolution, and we're coming from the Evolution of War tournament.
There we go.
I've brought Adam with me, and you're running the new Knights codex.
That's right, yeah. 5 of them.
Yeah. So how was your first game?
It was really good. Yeah, I played a lovely guy called Simon, apparently quite well known on this stream. He's been in a couple of things before. He brought 3 big Forge World Knights.
Yeah.
They were very big. A couple of the Havagers and then some Admech troops.
Yeah, that's cool. How did your game go?
I had to gang up on him in order to win. I had to use that number advantage because he had a lot of weapons that had that flat 6 damage.
Yeah.
That was absolutely massive. And my first turn, so I went first, I targeted his big Lancer guy because he's really freaking fast, like base move of 14, can advance 2d6, and then a full tilt for a stratagem and get to charge off that.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely massive threat range right there.
That's fairly filthy, actually. Isn't it?
Yeah. That's what, 21 inches plus your charge? Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. So I full tilted towards him instead. So I shot him to bits, got him down to like 10 wounds, and I moved my Gallant to full 12. He then advanced +2, so he advanced 7 inches because I had the Landstrider. So it's +2 to my charges and to my advances. Rolling 3 dice, picking the highest 2, or 2 dice for the advance. So he was super fast and he made his charge. I went up, I slapped it with my, I used the Reaper's Sword on him to go for the flat 6, and he passed all 4 of his invuns. So I was like, that's a bit rude. That's a bit rude of him. And then the Lancer immediately just slapped my Gallant out of the way. So the Gallant killed a single Ranger.
It's pretty good having that invuln in combat, actually, because that's something the Knights have traditionally suffered from, isn't it?
It's a Storm Shield in combat. It's a free-up invulnerable save on that Lancer.
Because Knights don't have any invulnerability, do they?
No. I had to take the Relic, actually, as well, on my Gallant to just try to survive. And he can just increase it by 1 as well by rotating the Iron Shields, and they've all had a 4-up invuln against shooting as well. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what exactly was in your list?
So I've ran 5 Knights. So in my main army I had 3 Terrans. So that's getting the extra movement value and the charges for it. So I had the Gallant out of it, who benefits the most from it, because it just makes him incredibly fast and can quite surprise people at times. I also have a Knight Errant. So that's the thermal cannon guy. He was really useful in the game as well, just because the extra damage that's always coming through. He was a bit unreliable with his shots, but that does happen. Like the first turn though, he dealt 12 wounds, so he did all right. And then after that,
it's all about the big guns, isn't it? When it's
definitely. And then I also had a Paladin. He was really good. He ended up getting the Relic as well for the rapid fire battle cannon. So it goes up to strength 9, so I wouldn't have Knights on freeze. Still -2, but I rolled 3d6, picking the highest 2 for how many shots do I get. So it makes him a lot more consistent in how much damage output that he gets. And then I ran 2 Knight Wardens, and they were both in separate houses. One was House Crast and one was House Raisin.
So what were your thoughts behind the houses? Why did you pick those?
So I'm helping to practice for a new TC list with Anthony Chu. We've decided on that, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But actually, this game will be released after.
No, we're not releasing stuff after the.
All right, cool. So I can talk about it. We can talk about it. So there's a few hints and
you
tricks.
guys are your
I know, right? It's crazy. No, so the Terrans all pretty obvious. They run up, they smack stuff. They do really well off that. So the Crast, so the Wall of Trait off them is really good. Being able to reroll 1s and 1s to wound as well for the strat. And then there's a Relic weapon, which I didn't take in our matchup because I rated a 2-up save higher than it. But it can increase the damage by 1, but again, it goes up against +2 if you shoot a Titanic unit. So then the Avenger Gatling gun.
The Gatling cannon on it, suddenly,
so now it's 4 damage.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome. But I was like, but you only get 3 or 4 wounds, and then if he's got 4-up save, he's got a really good save against it. So that's why I went for the 2-up save. But if he hadn't had the 4-up, definitely would have went for that damage.
So you didn't take any of the big Knights then?
No, I did not.
Is that because you didn't have them, or because you're not rating them?
A little bit of both. So if you run one of the big Knights, then you're only going to have 4 Knights in your army in general, which means that you need something to complement them as well. And there's loads of stuff that does that really well. Admech do really well because they got some really cheap troops choices. They can heal Knights as well, and the strats for Knights, they're really good. Like you could have a Knight on 1 wound, like a Crusader on 1 wound. Spend 1 command point, he's shooting as if he's at 24 HP. It's like, yes mate, that's really good.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? You have the you've got to keep them at the AdMech house, haven't you?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Then they get back up, and then you get them to shoot as normal, and then they start healing up, don't they?
Yeah, they can do. Yeah.
So
But you've got to give them that support to do it.
Yeah.
And the big knights, they're about 600-ish points.
Yeah.
So you're not getting too much else with it, but they've got a lot of damage output.
What's your favourite one between the two? I always thought the guy with the harpoon, he was too short range, so you're probably running up the board for a turn or two, and you can
You're
kind of...
effectively getting one flamer. Well, it's 3d6 shots on the flamer, but I'm not a big fan because that 3d6 could be just 3 shots.
Yeah.
On average, it's like 11, so it does well. It's 10.5 or whatever, but if you get one bad turn with it, you've got this massive model.
But you're not shooting turn 1 probably. You're probably maybe shooting turn 2 in terms of advancing them up, getting into range.
Yeah.
You know, whereas the other knight's going to be doing work every turn for you, isn't he?
Exactly, and if you make him have the relic plasma as well,
Yep.
that's lovely. That is.
Yeah. And they're not very good in combat either, are they? So actually, because they're
hit on
hit
fours.
on the fours.
Yeah.
So actually, they're pretty easy to pin down in combat, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because guys, only troops, they can only step over troops, can't they?
Yes, that's correct. And swarms.
Oh, they can do swarms. Okay.
No, they couldn't before.
But things like Custodes bikes, you surround it.
Yeah,
They're not killing many Custodes bikes, are they?
No, they're not.
No.
No, that's not their forte.
So I think having something which is short ranged and rubbish in combat,
Yeah,
it doesn't make a good combination.
exactly. And like your base, it's 4.5 inches thick.
Yeah.
So, like you say, Crusader bike. If you keep him an inch away, then put him lengthways, you've only got a 10-inch move to try and get over this massive bike, because you have to bring the whole base over it.
Yeah.
So if you position right, they aren't getting out of combat against most things. If you just space out your army, you'll do really well.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Little Knights?
Love them. I think they're really good.
Because Simon had a couple, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And
the autocannon variant.
I don't think they do particularly well into Knights, where it's only -1 and it's flat 3 damage. The flat 3's freaking amazing. But my Knights, I had a bit of scenery, so what I did is my back 2 Knights, I deployed as like a square or a rectangle, put 2 Knights up front, I gave one of them the 2-up armour save, the other one had a 4-up invulnerable save, and it was the Paladin, so it wasn't the end of the world if he died anyway. But the other 2 Knights sat behind it and on terrain, so they had a 2-up armour save where they were 50% obscured.
Yeah, because you're on the terrain, so they count as potentially being in cover. And then they're obscured by the other knights, I assume?
Yeah, that's right, by 50%.
Because it doesn't have to be the bit of terrain they're standing on obscuring them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So getting that 2-up armour save was absolutely massive.
Yeah. I like the knights, the little ones. I just think they suffer from the same problem as Lehman Russes. Essentially, if you tag them in combat, they're useless in combat. They can't fall back and shoot like a big knight.
You have to put a screen onto them. I think if you were to run Halbrand, then you don't run big knights with them, or you run one and you run a gallant, because then you could take like 6 of them with the autocannons, a guard battalion, a gallant, and you could take Bobby G.
Yeah, I mean they're really efficient firepower, isn't it? It's just
phenomenal. Yeah,
it's just you've got to screen
8
them off.
shots. Yeah,
they're ultra mobile, but
Like, imagine like Robert Gulliman in there as well, giving them reroll 1s to hit, and then he's got that threat potential as well if he's actually really good in combat.
Yeah,
that could be a really good combo.
Yeah. What do you think else complements AdMech? Not AdMech.
AdMech Knights, Imperial Knights.
I know which video I'm talking about.
I'm with you.
We're good.
So we started testing some assassins as well. I found that did work because it creates mistakes for the opponents. It's not so much about what you do, it forces a board state where people suddenly have to start screening off individual models. So like in Eldar player, they can't let Eversers just into their backline to be able to assault them. So they have to deploy against the sides and in the middle and create these buffers going around. And Knights are really good at killing buffers.
Yeah.
Like I've got 2 Wardens, it's 24 shots each, not including the heavy stubbers and flamers and things. Yeah. And you can just kill a hole and then they're in. And once they get into the backline, that's where they cause a lot of mayhem.
Yeah. It also helps the knights as well, because if you've got to push that screen forward, it helps your knights be able to assault turn 1, turn 2, doesn't it?
That is, yeah.
Yeah. Because if they're forced to put that screen in the way, that means you've got a much easier assault than if they're just in the back corner.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So I think particularly with the Eversors, because they're always a threat, aren't they?
Yeah, the 9 inches away, 3d6 charge. Thank you very much. And they've got good pistols. They're a good combat unit as well.
I love Eversors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Collex as well, he's really nice.
Yeah, I think a little bit of anti-psyker in there is always good, as well as he's just solid at grabbing objectives, isn't he?
Yes,
He's just
no one's ever going to target him. Like, he's a character and you hit him on sixes. It's like,
not when you've got not when you've got knights
in your face. That's it. Yeah.
So I think that the last thing to cover is, what do you think works well against knights? I mean, what do you think their weaknesses are?
I think the biggest one is screening, but in a way that you can block it.
Yeah.
So a lot of tables, they have like 6 to 8 pieces of scenery, and often they have to walk through these little tunnels in between the scenery. But they've got really big bases, so things like the Eldar Flyers, they're really good, but they've got really big bases, and they're 4.5 inches thick. You just need to create a 5.5 or just under 5.5 inch space. You're not getting through. And if you have multiple flyers that you can just screen off, because I played Dan Bates yesterday, and that's exactly what he did. Yeah. And he kept 5 knights in my own deployment zone for 3 turns, and he was killing like 1 to 2 knights each turn with his Reapers as well. Only because of the assassins.
Because you either put the flyers there, or you put just a chaff unit just right next to them.
Well, he deploys rangers 9 inches away. At the start, you're like, huh? And I can't walk over you yet, because you can only fall back over you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't just ignore them and move past. So I move 8 inches forwards, but in this game, he went first, so they just move forwards. They're 3 inches away from him, and I'm like, cool, I can't get past you.
You're going to kill them, but...
Yeah, I'm going to kill them.
But you've moved like 3 or 4 inches that turn, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah. Oh, consolidate the 3 inches, but he had a unit behind me as well. So they were the closest units, I couldn't even consolidate. And then the next turn, he just moved flyers in the way instead. Yeah. So there's no way...
Because it only needs 2 or 3 turns of the Reapers to just kill you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it ruins your day.
Yeah.
Also, Harlequin Bikers as well.
Or go with all the haywire.
They're absolutely nuts, because they can get the -2 to hit as well. Like, 1 unit should kill a knight.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else to say. Obviously, the little knights, they've got their problems with needing screens around them. Mm-hmm. The big knights, they can't get to a lot of places, can they? Like, so they can't go into ruins. The same problems they've always had. So if you're placing objectives in the game, which I know a lot of tournaments are going away from, suddenly half of your models can't actually get to things, can they?
No, that's why I haven't things like the assassins.
Obviously, the knights can go over terrain, but they can't stay on it at the end of the start or the end of their movement phase. So you can go over a wall, you can't go through a wall, but you can't stay on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it makes it very difficult, because, like as you said, a good opponent there noticed that, put them up high, and suddenly they're on there. And even with your charging, we spoke briefly about it before this happened, but you're only going to get 4 attacks, 5 if you're a gallant.
You can't use your feet, can you?
Yeah. And then you get hit on 3s or 2s. You go
wound on 2s.
Kill on 2s, hopefully.
Well, unless you're facing something with an invuln, which then you're probably only killing a couple of models, aren't you? Which is, they're just not doing enough work then. Because I think the big knights, to actually be effective, they've got to be both shooting and in combat each turn, haven't they?
Each and every turn, as much.
Because they're absolute beast in combat, but if you're not, otherwise you're just a slightly expensive tank, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, anything else you can think of? You've got to get on and play your next game, haven't you?
I do.
What are you playing next?
Manichima. It's like 90 guardsmen, a couple of hellhounds, 3 shield captains, 3 like sanguiniuses, so blood angel captains. So yeah,
it should be a good one anyway.
Yeah, listen, I get to stomp on stuff. It'll be good fun.
Anyway, I hope you enjoy this tournament.
I did.
Thanks for coming along and chatting about this.
Thanks a lot.
Right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.